whatever they found interesting. That way they understand not only as they're listening, but as they're applying it on their paper. They're learning and making connections. I will keep reading, and the next paragraph will be about tornadoes. So I will keep reading the pages that have to do with hurricanes, and then I'm going with tornadoes. So then I'll read. The most violent winds on Earth, tornadoes, sometimes nicknamed twisters, can travel across the land at speeds of up to 125 miles per hour, 200 kilometers per hour. They can lift objects as large as trains and hold them to the ground, rip roofs of houses and whip out the furniture, suck up papers and photographs and drop them many miles away, and even strip clothes of a person's body. Tornadoes have hit almost every state in the U.S., but most of the world's tornadoes happen in the open prairies of the American Midwest. There, the tornado season normally lasts from May to October. So after they know this, they will find what is something that you find interesting. Some other questions include can you make any personal connections to what I read? So if students remember anything that had to do with tornadoes, strong winds, they will write it on your journal. So one student can say, oh, I remember when in my house it rained so bad that my front yard got flooded, and they're making constant connections to what I'm reading. Are there any words you didn't understand or want to know the meaning of it? So this is a very important section in my questioning, because it lets me know if students understand the vocabulary. So if students don't understand a word, then they can write it on their notebooks, and they can use a dictionary that I will provide for them so that they can know the definition of the word. This will help them in their language vocabulary development so that they can understand better the concepts being taught in the information of text. So for example, I will ask Mario, did you find any word that you didn't understand? So then Mario will respond and he'll say, I don't understand the word roof. It's just an example. So then he'll write the word roof on his paper, and then he'll look the word out in the dictionary. The dictionary will be provided in their table as they're reading. So that's the activity we will do. Students will have 2 to 3 minutes to write on their journals. So after I read a paragraph, so in this case I read a paragraph about hurricanes, another about tornadoes, we will read several paragraphs of each natural disaster. Once that is done, I will place another T-chart in the board, and based on what students wrote on their papers and on the new vocabulary they acquired, they are going to be filling up this T-chart as a class. So we do it as a class. So and then I will ask each and every student to tell me something that they can add to the poster. So then I will be, Mario, do you have something that's related to tornadoes? What is a characteristic of a tornado? And he'll respond to me, and I will write. Okay, if he says tornadoes destroy roofs of houses, then I will write destroy houses. Then I will ask Maria, what is the characteristic of a tornado that you learned? They are sometimes called twisters. She will respond. So then I will write it. They are also known as twisters. Okay. Then I will continue until we have an adequate amount of information for each section. Now we're gonna go to hurricanes, or for tornadoes, hurricanes, and then we'll fill up the chart too. Now this activity helps them make connections and learn from each other, because something that Maria wrote does not necessarily mean that Carlos wrote it or that Michael wrote it. So this will help us as a class have a better picture of what we learned from the information in the text, and then use that information for the next activity. And I will continue doing this. We will continue finishing this, and then after, they will be giving articles in which they will have to read, and they will create a compare and contrast. They will compare and contrast diagram. Each student will create one, and based on what they have learned, that's what the information they will be putting on the compare and contrast. So I know this was kind of difficult because I did not have students, but this is more or less how it's gonna work. How I will start with the KWL chart, read the excerpts of the informational text, and there will be quite a few. I just didn't read them all. I will read a paragraph. They'll have 2 to 3 minutes to analyze the vocabulary, find new words, and then draw to see if